You are drinking 3 liters of water a day, yet your cells are literally shrinking and dying of thirst. Stop chugging that bottled water for a second. The billion-dollar hydration industry is secretly scamming you, relying on your blindness to basic human biology. Today, I am going to expose the ruthless truth about the 8 glasses a day rule. I will show you the exact biochemical reaction needed to actually hydrate your body at a cellular level, and how to stop silently destroying your metabolism. You probably feel incredibly proud when your urine is crystal clear. You look at it and think you are the picture of perfect health. But the horrifying truth is, that is not a sign of hydration at all. That is a massive biological red flag, indicating your body is actively flushing away its life force. Right now, you might be suffering from chronic fatigue, brutal morning brain fog, unexplained anxiety, or random muscle cramps, despite carrying a massive plastic water jug everywhere you go. I know this because I used to be exactly like that. I drank so much plain water every single day that I felt bloated, heavy, and constantly exhausted. I was practically living in the bathroom, yet my skin was dry and my energy was at rock bottom. I thought my body was fundamentally broken. But it was not my fault, and it is not your fault either. We have all been systematically blinded by an outdated medical myth that has been pushed upon us for decades. Let us talk about molecular biology and the actual physiological barrier of your cells. When you drink purified water, reverse osmosis water, or basically any standard commercial bottled water, you are consuming what scientists call dead water. Through extreme industrial filtration processes, this liquid has been entirely stripped of its natural mineral profile. When this dead, empty liquid enters your stomach, it does not magically rush into your blood and hydrate your tissues. Instead, it hits a biological brick wall. Because it lacks the necessary ionic charge, it bypasses the proper cellular osmosis process entirely. It pools in your digestive tract, gets haphazardly filtered through your lymphatic system, overworks your kidneys, and is dumped straight into your bladder. Your cells remain completely locked and utterly parched. In other words, you are flooding the external environment of the cell, while the inside of the cell is experiencing a severe, life-threatening drought. Why is this happening on such a massive scale? Because the billion-dollar bottled water industry refuses to tell you that pure, isolated H2O is a completely unnatural state in nature. In the wild, natural water flows over stones, through the earth, picking up soil-based organisms, trace elements, and a complex matrix of vital minerals. But modern corporate water uses hyperfiltration to create a sterile, empty liquid that looks clean but silently destroys your internal mineral balance. When you flood your delicate internal system with this empty, aggressively pure water, it acts like a biological vacuum. It enters your bloodstream and immediately begins diluting the critical sodium and potassium levels in your blood. This triggers a dangerous physiological cascade known as hyponatremia. Your body goes into an absolute panic. To survive and maintain the strict pH balance of your blood, it is forced to pull vital, life-sustaining minerals right out of your bones, your muscles, and your organs. This is not just a harmless daily habit. This is a devastating trap that leads to chronic intracellular dehydration. And it doesn't stop there. Imagine your neurons, the very brain cells responsible for your memory, focus, and mood. They operate exclusively on electrical impulses. But right now, you are washing away their ability to fire properly because the electrical conductivity in your brain is being diluted by gallons of plain water. You drink more water to cure your pounding headache and brain fog, but the plain water itself is exactly what is flushing the vital electrolytes out of your brain tissue. Here is the craziest part of all. By obsessively following the 8 glasses a day rule with purified water, you are literally drinking yourself into severe chronic dehydration. This is the ruthless truth they are hiding from you to keep you buying more plastic bottles. Your body does not need just water. Water alone cannot penetrate the lipid bilayer of your cell membranes. It needs the biological keys to unlock the physical doors to your cells. Let us look deeper into the clinical research behind this massive misconception. The original recommendation for water intake was never meant to be applied to isolated, purified liquid. The clinical studies from decades ago actually included the water content found naturally in our food. Foods like cucumbers, watermelons, and raw meats contain water that is naturally structured and bound to minerals. It is living water. But somewhere along the line, the industry twisted this data to sell you plastic bottles. They convinced you that the only way to stay alive is to constantly sip from a plastic tube. This created a generation of overhydrated, under-mineralized people, suffering from a bizarre modern condition where they are bloated with water, but their actual cells are shriveled like raisins. When your cells shrink, they cannot produce ATP, the fundamental energy currency of your body. Your mitochondria, the powerhouses of your cells, begin to shut down. This is the root cause of why you feel like you are dragging yourself through the day, relying on caffeine just to keep your eyes open. You are not tired because you lack sleep. You are exhausted because your cells are starved of the conductive elements required to generate human energy. Stop drinking plain water right now and start listening to your biology. Imagine a single biochemical reaction that can literally resurrect your dying cells the moment it touches your lips. This is not a placebo effect, and this is not a passing wellness trend. This is the physiological gold standard of human hydration, a truth that has been buried under mountains of marketing propaganda. To understand this biological miracle, we need to look deep inside the human anatomy at a microscopic engine located on the membrane of almost every single cell in your body. It is called the sodium-potassium pump. This microscopic pump is the absolute gatekeeper of your health. It requires physical keys to open the specific gateways known as aquaporins. Aquaporins are the specialized channel proteins that allow water molecules to cross the protective lipid barrier and enter the deep intracellular matrix. If you drink dead purified water without the presence of trace minerals, these aquaporin doors remain firmly shut. The water simply bounces off the cell membrane. It washes over the outside of the cell, tricking your brain into thinking you are hydrated before being flushed out by your overworked kidneys. But when you introduce sodium, magnesium, and potassium into the equation, everything changes. You create a highly conductive electrical charge. Sodium actively binds to the water molecule and pulls it directly inside the cell membrane. Potassium then holds it securely inside, creating the perfect cellular pressure and structural integrity. Magnesium, the master mineral, then activates the ATP production, turning that newly hydrated cell into a limitless energy source. This is a complex biochemical symphony, and it requires all the instruments to be playing together. Let us talk about the severe, hidden danger of cellular swelling. When you force your body to process massive amounts of plain water, the sodium levels outside your cells drop so low that water uncontrollably rushes into the cells through passive diffusion, trying to equalize the pressure. This causes the cells to swell up like overfilled water balloons. In your muscles, this causes severe cramping and physical weakness. But in your brain, it is absolutely catastrophic. Your brain is encased in a rigid, hard skull. It has zero room to expand. When your brain cells swell from too much plain water, it creates dangerous intracranial pressure. This is the exact reason why drinking too much plain water gives you a throbbing, relentless headache, nausea, and severe confusion. You are quite literally drowning your own brain in an enclosed space. The mainstream health media calls it a detox, but your biology recognizes it as a severe, acute trauma. When you finally activate the proper hydration mechanism with minerals, you trigger a massive biological cleanup machine. The perfectly hydrated, pressurized cell can now safely flush out the toxic metabolic waste that has been trapped inside your tissues for years. You are quite literally washing your cells from the inside out, reversing chronic cellular inflammation and completely erasing that heavy, sluggish feeling that drags you down every afternoon. This is how you reset your entire central nervous system and awaken your dormant brain. You will notice the difference in your cognitive function almost immediately. The persistent brain fog lifts, the midday crash disappears, and your skin regains its natural, youthful elasticity because it is actually holding on to moisture at a deep molecular level, not just swelling up with extracellular fluid. So how do you create this living water and finally break free from the bottled water trap? It is incredibly simple. But the corporate industry absolutely hates it because it costs mere pennies and they cannot patent it. Every single morning before you consume a drop of coffee or eat any food, take a glass of high-quality filtered water. Now, instead of drinking it dead, you must bring it back to life. Add a generous pinch of unrefined, mineral-rich sea salt, like Celtic salt or pink Himalayan salt. Let me be very clear here. I am not talking about bleached, heavily processed white table salt. That artificial product is a toxic chemical in itself, stripped of its life-giving properties. I am talking about raw, natural, earth-derived salt that contains over 80 distinct trace minerals essential for human life. A small pinch of this natural salt instantly transforms a dead liquid into a highly conductive, life-giving electrolyte matrix. If you want to take this biological reset to the next level, squeeze in some fresh lemon or lime juice for a potent dose of natural potassium and vitamin C, and perhaps a dash of raw apple cider vinegar to optimize your stomach acid and prepare your digestive tract for the day. By doing this, you are creating a potent biochemical serum that perfectly matches the physiological profile of your own blood plasma. You are drinking something your body instantly recognizes as fuel. When you drink this specific electrolyte matrix, your body does not reject it or immediately send it to your bladder. It absorbs it instantly and greedily. Your stomach recognizes the complex mineral profile and seamlessly passes it into your bloodstream. The natural sodium unlocks the aquaporins, and the structured water floods into your parched, starving cells, bringing life, raw energy, and pure electrical conductivity back into your depleted system. This is the ultimate biological reset, a true awakening of your physical potential. You will no longer need to drag a massive, heavy plastic gallon of water around the office, constantly running to the bathroom while still feeling perpetually thirsty and exhausted. Think about the sheer amount of energy your body wastes trying to process dead water. Every time you chug a bottle of purified water, your body has to frantically pull electrolytes from your bones and connective tissues just to make that water safe enough to process through the kidneys. You are forcing your internal organs to perform a massive, exhausting balancing act every single hour of the day. You are trading your long-term bone density and joint health for the illusion of short-term hydration. This is why so many athletes and health enthusiasts who strictly follow the gallon-a-day challenge end up with mysterious joint pain, chronic injuries, and severe mineral deficiencies. They are actively washing away the very foundation of their skeletal system. By drinking less total volume, but consuming a much higher quality of living, mineralized water, you optimize your entire physiological machine. Your kidneys finally get a desperately needed break from constantly filtering out excess liquid. Your digestion improves because your stomach has the proper minerals to produce hydrochloric acid. Your heart does not have to work nearly as hard to pump thin, diluted blood through your veins. Your entire cardiovascular system relaxes into a state of natural homeostasis. For decades, we have been aggressively brainwashed into believing that more is always better. Drink more water, buy more bottles, flush your system constantly. But in the precise realm of molecular biology, delicate balance is the only thing that truly matters. Drinking massive gallons of empty, dead water is nothing more than an illusion of health, sold to you by a multi-billion-dollar industry that profits directly from your endless, unquenchable thirst. They want you drinking constantly, yet remaining perpetually dehydrated. It is the perfect, evil business model. But you have the power to step out of that destructive cycle today. You hold the key to your own cellular health right in the palm of your hand. And it does not require a doctor's prescription, a complicated diet, or a ridiculously expensive supplement routine. It just requires a fundamental, empowering understanding of your own incredible biology. You can literally change the way your cells function starting tomorrow morning. The next time you raise a generic glass of purified, heavily filtered, dead water to your lips, I want you to stop and ask yourself this one crucial question. Are you actually nourishing your cells? Or are you just silently diluting your own life force? The choice between slowly starving your body and giving it the spark of life is entirely yours to make. If you found this biological breakdown valuable and want to continue uncovering the truth about your health, make sure to hit that subscribe button and support the channel. We will keep exposing these medical myths and bringing you the actual science of human optimization.